Hey, what's up, everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. All right, in good spirits, man. In good spirits. I woke up about 8:30, did my regular routine. After getting home last night, I had a fantastic day with my uncle. Made videos all the way home, so you guys saw how that went. If you watched those videos, everything was great. Had a good time. And today, after doing my routine, working out, I realized how wiped out I was. So I laid back down around 11 o'clock. Probably only slept till like 12:30 at the most. I don't think I even really fell asleep fully. But I definitely raised my laid my body down a little bit, and also did some searching for apartments, continuing to find things that look promising on the screen. You know, you got to check them out and really see if they're not showing you the best of these places, show you the right angle of the room, that stuff, putting furniture in the room that you're not furnishing the room with, that kind of thing. But a lot of promising stuff that could be potentially on the horizon as it pertains to apartments, and the budget that my uncle set for us. So I took some things down as it pertains to, I took some snapshots of what it is that I liked, and hearted them, meaning allowing for them to be saved as on the websites or what have you. And so my homegirl B sent me some things as well, and checked out as well. So we're underway. We're trying to look for something. I feel confident that there, in this range that we're talking about, I can find a nice little single, pretty much wherever I really want to live. So I'm excited about that. And it's just one of those situations where I really very thankful that my uncle's in town and that we're able to bond a little bit, and that all good energy is coming from those interactions, and that's really what it's about. And hoping that he's continuing to enjoy his tenure out here for a couple of days. I spoke with him just now. Of course, what we have going on doesn't stop the fact that it's room day, so I had to remind him, and of course he's going to send that over, so everything is going to work out with that. The manager, Lori, knocked on the door this morning, and she reminded me that we had to pay. I was like, Lori, I'm never not paid. I've been here for 2 years. There's no part of me that has missed the day of payment in any given week. So I don't know. I didn't take nothing from it. From what I understand, it's just something she's been doing like lately, just reminding everybody. So it was good to see her this morning, but I'm never delinquent. I might be a little late in terms of hours, but every day I'm supposed to pay. My uncle makes sure the money's there. I make sure it's in their hands. So this day is no exception. But yeah, that was a moment this morning, and that's pretty much it. I spoke to my uncle. He said he was getting set up with Planet Fitness out here, because I guess they're limited in what they give you in Virginia as it pertains to the setup and the whole get down. They don't really have trainers and stuff like that. They just kind of give you a plan and you just go work out. But out here, you got trainers and all these different things. So he went down there earlier this morning, and they gave him a nice little program and some things to work on and stuff like that. So target plan, so to speak. And he was pretty excited about what the options are available to him. So that's really great news there. And he was telling me he had some things to work on in the house, throwing out an old TV, that kind of thing. So it sounds like they're doing some good things for the condo there that they have out here. And I'm very happy about how things are turning out for him, as he's enjoying his vacation out here. And we had a great day yesterday. So today I told him I don't know if I'll see him today. I'm probably not gonna go all the way to Inglewood, to be honest with you, probably not. But I plan on going out there tomorrow though, because of course he leaves on Wednesday, so I'll get a chance to see my Aunt Deborah, his wife, because I didn't see her yesterday. But if she's available tomorrow, I'm sure I'll be there. And so that's really one of those situations where everything is going much better than I even expected. Although I expected it to go well, I feel great about it. So prayers have been prayed for that exact thing, and I thank God that he worked it out in the way that he is doing it that way. So yeah, man. Now I'm just getting some air. It got to a point where I was sitting around in that unit, and I was like, all right, man, I need to get out the house. I want some fresh air. I want to walk. I know I got to pay these people, so it ain't no sense in me acting like I can stay in the day in the room all day. And even though I'm a little exhausted, a little worn out from bad eating yesterday, tastes good, but the food was not, it didn't settle as great as it should have. But you know, I figured, hey man, one day of cheating meals ain't gonna hurt me. I don't think it's gonna kill me. So I enjoyed that, and now I need to walk some of that off, and you know, just I walk these shoes in too. I put the new insoles in these shoes, so I threw out the old ones, and I'm trying to, you know, just make these things a bit more comfortable for all the walking I tend to do. So it's all good, man. Everything is going well this week so far. Very thankful for that. And what else? I'll walk by here and let this not ruin our sound. But yeah, man, it was some not so good news that happened out there in the world, man. For those of us who are old enough to remember the Cosby Show, Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away suddenly at 54 years of age. He was out in Costa Rica, and something went wrong in the water, man. He didn't make it. I guess he was just swimming and drowned, man. That's about as much information as I have, but I saw he had made a podcast just a few days ago, and you know, it's centered around helping the youth in our community, black community. And you know, I heard a little excerpt from it, and he was essentially saying how he was happy to help teach kids, and to see them kind of get it and understand what he was teaching really made it worth it for him for whatever the program was or what he was doing. Seemed like a good brother, man. Seemed like a humble brother. Handled his fame very well. It's a very difficult loss for those who remember him, fans of him, people in our community. He always carried himself as a very, very humble and intelligent, well-spoken man, and that was tough to see him lose his life in a situation like that. Any situation really, but he was young and vibrant, 54 years of age, happy, seemed to be in a happy space, a young daughter. I think she's only like 10 years old. So, you know, I don't know, man. I felt really bad, man, but you know, it's one of those situations where you felt like a good man went to a good place. That's what I felt like. Even though I didn't know him, I know some people who did know him. I actually know someone from my high school who's told all of us through her Facebook page that she just spoke to him a couple weeks ago, I believe she said. He's a good brother. By all accounts, everybody who's speaking on him has nothing but good things to say about him. And he always exuded good energy in the camera and was very talented at what he did. And it seemed to be a type of person who stood up for the right things as well. So that was a very difficult bit of news for all of us who remember him on that show. And that's really where it is for me, man. I just grew up watching the guy just like a lot of people my age did, man, and stood for the right stuff. Yeah, so rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner. I don't even sound right even saying that, to be honest with you. I don't even sound right saying that. So yeah, man, that was this bit of sad news that came our way this morning. And what else is going on, man? I'm still hearing about stuff that's going on in Gaza, man. I'm still paying attention. It's a lot of children are losing their lives because they don't have food, man. The starvation is really what the talk is right now. You know, hundreds of kids who just need simple formula, simple milk, stuff like that, who have been depraved of those things by Israel. They're now starting to lose their lives in rapid ways. Babies, because they're not getting formula. And starvation is being used as a weapon by Israel, as I think most of us who follow me understand at this point. That's just what they're doing, you know. And so you see the footage of all the different people who are starving and stuff like that. And I just want to tell people, like, you know, at some point in time, humanity has to kick in for all of us who believe whatever we believe. There are a lot of people who believe that Muslim religion is bad, or that they stand for the wrong things, or that they believe the propaganda placed about the Muslim people's religion. And a lot of us who are Christian believe that our Christianity is at odds with Islam, or that they're on the wrong side of the Lord, so that whatever happens to them should just kind of just be accepted, and if they just knew Christ, or whatever people think, But at the end of the day, if you see some of the stuff I'm seeing, it really makes you wonder how far you actually take that thought. A lot of people believe the propaganda. Hamas is the worst thing in the world. But when you start seeing what's actually there to see, the images, man, the images change your tone. The images will change your tone. And I think a lot of people who believe what Israel is telling all of us, they are not seeing the images. That's really what it comes down to. I don't think most of the people who are on the Israel side of things really actually see what is happening there. The pictures, the footage, I can't imagine that you're actually seeing it if you're staying with that. Because let's say you believe that the Jewish people are the people of Jesus, and therefore they should have the right to do whatever they want. Let's say you believe that they're special, and that's why they've been able to inherit everything, and that they deserve to have their land exclusive to them. They happen to be better than all of us because they're chosen by God. Even if you believe all of that, let's say you believe everything about that. When you start seeing the images of what these people are doing, you're forced to question how far that goes in your mind. How far are you going to take that? These are the people of God. They're chosen to do whatever they want to do. They get their land. Even if it pushes some Muslim people who are bad guys out of the way, so be it. But when you start seeing the argument that they're making for why it's okay to kill these children, essentially their ideology is based on, or this platform of thought essentially based upon the idea that they're supposed to save themselves from children that are raised to kill them. That's what they want you to believe. That it is in fact the Muslim people who are raising their kids to hate Jews, and so Jews must attack these children with their armies, and anybody around these people with their armies, for preventative measures to protect Jews. How far are you gonna take that when you come to understand that they're harming innocent children because of this ideology, this platform, as I worded it, of thought from which to stand on? These kids are being raised to want to hate Jews. They want to slaughter Jews. So what we got to do is kill them all. That's an ideology that's engulfed in the for what makes it so that they feel that this is acceptable. This is what they're telling themselves to continue to go forward with this and support this. Hey, I believe that you can have some bad kids in this world. Some of them can be raised to be bad people. But children are children. At the end of the day, you teach them as they grow, you instill in them what you want there, and they become a reflection of what it is that you've put in their hearts. So if they happen to have the wrong stuff in their hearts, it's not too late. You get a hold of them, you change their mind. You show them the logic, and you raise them with that understanding that they need to be better than what it is they were taught. I don't understand believing that to save myself, I need to kill little children. I don't understand that. And I don't think I'm supposed to understand that. I need to be raised where everybody's saying that and not questioning it nor challenging it in order to believe that that's a measure that should be taken. And this is what it comes down to in the spirit of their self-preservation and unquestionable agreements. They've adapted to this way of thinking about their enemies, that they need to destroy starve, torture, lie about, and all these different types of things in regards to their enemies. And anybody in there is an enemy. Anybody that's on their side is an enemy. Women, children, animals, all of them are like supposed to be slaughtered for the preservation of the Jewish people, so that the Jewish people can be free of threats. For which, if you just give a little thought to that, you know that doesn't make any sense, because all it's doing is awakening new threats, new people who hate them for doing so. And that's not taken into account at all as they move forward. No. Why? Because it's not aligned in anything that's logical. It's aligned in a ideology that is religious based. So it goes unquestioned. It ain't got to make any sense. It doesn't have to make sense to these people. It just has to be written in the book. And that's the problem. When you tell somebody that something's above reproach and that they need to follow it whether it makes any sense or not, and they have their sensibility and their morals and their confidence wrapped up in their ability to follow it to a T, you end up getting what's going on with Zionists in Israel. These people are starving people that they think are raising their children to want to murder them. And as a result, they are in fact raising their children to murder them. And all the while exempt from the idea that they're supposed to not be that way, because they're chosen by God to do however they see it. And it's not that they don't know that they're being evil. They just think that they're not to be considered evil for the evil they do because of their label as Jews. And that's acceptable to them. It's not acceptable if you do it. It's not acceptable if anyone else does it. But if they do it, then it's just, they're above reproach because they're chosen by God. They're supposed to have their land. And all of us are supposed to be their slaves. And it's written in a book. And anything they tell us in regards to why we have to accept the things that they do, whether it's true or lie, is supposed to be accepted. And they're supposed to be able to keep their reputation, because the double standard for them against us is biblical, essentially. It's like, yo, that don't make no sense, man. And they move along with this stuff, and then they use ideologies that are weaponizing themselves against innocent people, because they deem them not innocent based on that whole way of looking at it. And we're the Jews, we can do whatever we want. Anyone that challenges us needs to be wiped out. Anybody that doesn't believe what we believe, we have a right to wipe out. And everybody's supposed to be fine with us doing it. Everybody's supposed to be fine with us doing this. You all are supposed to be fine with this because we're chosen by God. You all are supposed to yield to us and be our slaves because we're chosen by God. God promised us all of this. So whether you agree or not, we're going to use force and every bit of what it is we are and our power in this world to fulfill the legacy, fulfill what it is that's being written about us in this book. And that's it. You're going to go along with it. And a lot of people's religions go along with it, but it's like, so you're going to let these people starve them out. You're going to let these people in our presence teach their children to kill those people. And the excuse that they get to use is that they think these people are raising their children to kill them. We're going to really just ignore the hypocrisy and the application of oneself onto someone else, the projection, so to speak, of one's identity onto somebody else. We're all going to ignore that and just play into this to no end and let these people starve and suffer in our faces because, well, people who are doing it to them are chosen, and that's it. At some point in time, I got to ask people who are celebrating this or going along with this, how far are you willing to take this? How far are you willing to take this? Because when they get on panels, when Israelis get on panels and debate people about their point of view, they end up losing these debates each and every time because the logic don't actually add up. because it just comes down to them having a double standard that they expect everybody else to go along with. Even though they expect all of us to never have double standards in regards to our own selves applied to anyone else, least of all them. They above us, they do what they want. And if it happens to be them wanting to kill us, we're supposed to roll over and pass away for them. It's like, if they want to take our children and do horrible things to them, if they think we're their enemy, we're supposed to just let anybody kill anybody as long as it's a Jew doing the killing. At some point in time, those who are trying to make this work because of their political spaces or give these people money to continue on their path, or you got to understand that none of this is actually going to add up, nor is it going to be complied to. Because at the end of the day, you're asking people to essentially go along with something that they can't do. Give me just a moment.
Thank you so much.
And it's one of them situations where you just have to ask yourself, how far are we willing to take this? How far are we willing to take this? If these people are willing to harm people in the name of themselves and starve children out and torture people and do all types of horrible things to these people, how far are we, the American people who are supposed to be under God in a religious country of allowance of everybody to have their free will to do whatever they want, how long can we actually stay in this space without having everything deteriorate? How can we trust one another if this is what we're allowing one another to allow to happen? How can we look each other in the eye and say we're humanitarians if there's an asterisk next to that as it pertains to the interests of a single people? A single people want everybody to be suffering. We allow them to suffer because they're above reproach. And like, how far can we actually take this, live amongst one another, and still trust one another if this is what we're doing? You know, everybody that I'm paying attention to is getting on AOC's case because she voted to allow Israel another $50 million, billion, I don't even know what the number is. Billion is what I'm guessing, of kill money to continue to fund their genocide against the Palestinian people. She was one of the few people who voted against season giving them that money. And I look at her and I say, you want people to look at you and say that you're a person of the people, but this is where the hypocrisy or the irony or whatever the word would be of that presentation completely falls apart, because this is what you're doing with everybody watching. You spend so much of your energy trying to convince all of us that you're a good person, only to do all of this while all of us are watching. To do this while all of us are watching. Like, it's just, at some point in time, you got to ask these politicians, do you not know that you're being watched all the time? All the time. And I know no one single person wants to go against this powerful entity for a million different reasons. But at some point in time, they all need to understand that they're being collectively looked at as compromised, and that all of the energy that they're putting into making themselves be trusted gets thrown away by the actions that they do in the name of these people. By the stuff that they do in supporting these people doing things that we have, at this point, seen the results of. How tragic and how ridiculous the results of this is. They're starving people on purpose. And the only thing that they say in regards to trying to justify it is that if I don't do it, they're going to kill me. As far as I can tell, that's probably not a bad thing if they accomplish what it is that you say their goal is, because then maybe that would save them from being starved to death. And that is ultimately what Israel needs to understand that most of us are thinking. Most of us are thinking, whatever it is that they plan to do to you, boy, it's a damn shame they're not able to get it done, because it would sure save their kids' lives. It would sure save their people's lives if they would adapt to the attitude that ultimately you say they already harbor. Raising their kids to want to wipe y'all out, it would save them. It would save them. And so I'm not really clear why. I think I know why, but I'm not certain. It's not clear to me why all of this is happening, or why America is so intertwined in allowing it to happen. I'm not really sure. But as I stand here telling y'all that I've seen starving babies in my phone just a couple hours ago, freshly starved children who just passed away in my phone just an hour ago, I tell you that whatever is making this happen needs to understand that they're complicit to it happening. Whoever is looking the other way and allowing Israel to do this for whatever your set of reasons, you really do need to understand that this is not too far away from you. This is not something that you are just able to look away and then from there everyone around you is also looking away. Not everyone is looking away. Some of us are looking at this and then we're looking at you. And while you think, well, this is just a means of keeping our country strong, and like you've always done when you pillaged the lands of other people and brought it back to our land to boost us up. But you got to understand, the internet's in place now, and we're able to put 2 and 2 together as it pertains to who's allowing what, who's making what happen, who's paying for what. This is not previous eras where you can just play dystopian, so to speak, do all types of stuff that hurts real people in different places that you're nowhere near, and expect not to be seen as terrorists toward those people that this is happening to. Because that's what America's used to being able to do. You know, you got these callous politicians where they've approached about these crimes and about these actions, they just look at so irritated and so disgusted that anyone would ever bring this to them. What they don't understand is that we see footage of you doing that, and then we scroll once, and then we see the results of what it is that happens because you're doing that. It's not away from us like it's away from you. The things that you are allowing to happen, we're witnesses to the results of those actions. So that dystopian behavior, that stay away from me with all of that, it ain't too far away from you. In the era we're in, that doesn't work. It worked for your ancestors, it worked for your predecessors. It will not work for you. And what ends up being the case is, instead of people having an idea of what a terrorist looks like, being what it is that you told us it is, when we think of terrorists, we're now putting you in that mix. And that's what these people have yet to see. They don't see that part yet. They don't understand that that's what people see. We talk about terrorism. They're not seeing a dude with, his head wrapped, or some brown person with, a sword in one hand and an AK in the other. And, that's not the image anymore. The image is a white politician in America getting a plate of food at a banquet, being approached by people who love human beings and ignoring them as they cry out for the humanity of others in places they are not in. That's what a terrorist looks like in 2025 from here on out. That's what a bad guy looks like. They have made themselves the picture perfect image of what expectations for what terrorism is now in 2025. It looks like a guy in a suit who happens to be Caucasian or Puerto Rican or something like some civilized guy who's not holding a gun, who's not covering his face, but is stepping out in the forefront of a camera declaring love for his country and proclamations of what it is that he ultimately is willing to do for his country, that is supposed to be going to be better for all the people in the country. That's what a terrorist looks like today in 2025. It looks like a politician. And you know what a victim looks like in 2025? Looks like a brown person, a Muslim person, who's likely starved, a child from their community that is likely missing limbs, or not even alive in the arms of their parent as their parents crying walking down the street. And as they start to understand this, they're going to realize that they've done a very poor job of keeping up the environment that their predecessors were able to thrive in, where they could do all this, put on a suit, and not be associated with the results of it. That's over. That's over. And now people like that are going to have to take on the brunt of that reputation. The energy that comes with being perceived as that type of person. That is exactly what they can expect going forward. And so that's what I want to tell all these politicians. You did all this stuff in the light. You said the quiet part out loud. You showed us the stuff that's supposed to be hidden behind the scenes. You stood on stage and you did all of it. And the world is looking. They're paying attention. Some of them are starting to be awakened to that now. And whatever comes with that, comes with that. And as much as you say you love your country, you put a target on our back. You put a target on your own back. And because of the presence of social media, that target is going to be a bit more zeroed in than you want it to be. There's a lot of y'all thinking y'all going to hide behind these citizens. What you don't understand is that these people, the victims of these crimes, these genocides, are connected to people like me. They know we're watching them. They're watching us. That's what y'all got to understand. It's not going to be a situation where you get to stand back and control the narrative about how this is all viewed. You don't get to control the narrative. And you have done a horrific job for yourselves in regards to doing so. And it's going to have dire and grave consequences for a lot of y'all. Because I think a lot of you anticipate that the lies that you told about these people with these heads wrapped up, praying to Allah, is going to be the threat that you actually are going to face. That's what's going to catch you off guard. Believing your own lies is a dangerous thing. When you tell lies about certain people and then you inhabit the fear that comes with those lies. So when you see somebody with their head wrapped up, or you see someone with a hijab or a kifa, and you find yourself fearful of them, even though you know damn well that you've done to them what ultimately would make someone want to hurt you or whatever. When you believe the lies and you actually start treating those people like they're different than what it is that they actually are, and when you start realizing that they don't actually inhabit the energy that you have told everybody they inhabit, but that energy is still coming your way in different vessels, that maybe you didn't push that label upon, but are angry at you for doing what you've done. That's the truth. While y'all afraid of what you've told yourself a terrorist is, you're going to be met with the energy that you're fearful of coming from places that you're not expecting. That's what I think is coming for a lot of these terrorists. American terrorists, these politicians, dystopian politicians who are above reproach in their own mind. As long as they align with the winning side, they're going to be able to stay in power. Those individuals, a lot of them are going to be getting what comes with being a bad guy, coming from people that they're not expecting it from. That's what I think is coming. People that look just like them are going to be coming after them. Their own people are going to close in on them and drag them to hell, while they sit up here fearful of people they've told lies about. Fearful of people who are Muslim, fearful of people that look African American, everybody they've ever told a lie about. Thugs and terrorists, whoever they lied about, they think that's what's coming for them. They've fallen into a space of Israeli mentality, which is believing your own lies to the point where you can't even turn it off. Can't even turn it off. Someone needs to remind them, hey, yo, you're lying. You're telling people that these people are something they're not. Don't forget you're lying and believe your own lie and then start acting as if the lie is the truth when you start to defend yourself. That doesn't work. It's a lie you made up. That's not who they actually are. You start believing your own lies and it starts protecting yourself from the narrative you've created rather than the reality of the actions that you've put forth to inspire many people to want to do to you what it is that you lied and said these people are willing to do to you. And that is what I think, as I predict, is coming for a lot of these dystopian politicians and IDF soldiers and all these different types of people who've now become the new reality of what the common man's expectation of what a terrorist looks like. That's the devil in the details of your actions. The devil in the details of your actions is you not only told lies about people who weren't looking to harm anybody, but you started believing those lies and started protecting yourself as if those images were the ones that you needed to be afraid of. That, my friend, is a mistake of grave proportions. So that's what I see coming, man. I just, as a man of God, just say, hey, man, my relationship with God is getting stronger and stronger. The more y'all continue to go down this path, giving the devil the rope to hang you with, the closer I'm getting with God. So y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. Y'all can pretend that it doesn't affect you, that you allow this to happen. You figure, hey, we're over here, we're protected. You know, we can do whatever we want. Anybody that tries to hold us accountable for it is stupid, and all these different things that y'all telling yourselves. You can do that if you want. But as I said, people are watching. They are watching, and as they're watching, they are starting to equate terrorism with your image, your stereotype, how you dress, how you wear your hair. That's what equates to the suffering of people in Middle Eastern countries and African countries and stuff like that. That's who we see doing the dirt that these people are suffering from. When I think of a child suffering starvation, I think of us as a Jewish person with a yarmulke on their head and an Israeli flag in their hand. That's what comes to mind. Not a Muslim person with a hijab on their head. You know, no. It's a Zionist Jew. You need to understand that now. Video 44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.